would, it's pretty simple. It would strike the report section, small refinery relief here on page 95, in which the committee recognizes that the renewable fuel standard permits small refinery exemptions to the requirement to blend ethanol in transportation fuel, should those refineries feel subject to what they think is disproportionate economic hardship. Now, I do plan on withdrawing this amendment to work further with the committee on this issue, but I just wanted to take a moment today to speak about it and talk about how these small refinery exemptions, these waivers in essence, should no longer be included in RFS conversations. So back in 2007, as part of the history of this, RFS was expanded. It became law that there was a required amount of ethanol blended into all transportation fuel, and it acknowledged that the small refineries would need extra time to adjust to the new standard and transition to the RFS program so that they had time to prepare. And then after 2010, the small refineries could petition the EPA for an extension of that exemption if the refinery could, again, prove and demonstrate that they would suffer disproportionate economic hardship if forced to comply with the blend mandate. So, in other words, if they needed, again, a little bit more time to comply with the new law at that time, small refineries could ask for more time. So, keywords there being the new law. Well, now we are 15 years later, since 2007, since these oil refiners have been evading the law by requesting these extensions or new exemptions from a program that reduces our nation's emissions and also expands the domestic renewable fuels sector, all while reducing reliance on foreign oil. So there's simply no reason for this provision to be included in an appropriations bill. I do believe that there are some really good things in this bill. I was excited to read about many of our priorities to help support the biofuels industry, promote biofuels, which, as I mentioned, are good for our emissions, the nation's carbon footprint, increasing our domestic fuel supply, and also helping our rural and agriculture economies as well. I am proud that the committee felt it important to hold the EPA accountable for an overdue report on the motor vehicle emissions simulator model, and that the report specifically cautions against irrationally penalizing higher blends of ethanol. And I was also proud that the committee agreed to prioritize language on understanding the efficacy of selling E15 year-round to reduce gas prices and, again, dependence on foreign oil. So these are both vital steps that the committee is supporting, and I'm grateful for that. On the other hand, the inclusion of the small refinery provision specifically, again, it's duplicative to the language and it's counterproductive. All it does is reiterate a snippet of a 15-year-old law without the proper context. So I'm here today to speak on behalf of our Iowa family farmers and the biofuels community. They have, again, an immediate solution to the problems facing every single American today: unfathomably high gas prices and a dependence on our greatest foreign adversaries for a stable fuel supply. So I'm glad the administration and the committee have realized recently that biofuels are a good common sense solution, and I look forward to working with you all to further address these issues, including the small refinery exemption language that is included in this bill. And again, I plan to withdraw, but for now, Madam